Welcome everyone to the Swine Brothers Show, episode 110 for September 9th, 2016. As always, if you'd like to get in contact with the show, you can email us at ellindamood@gmail.com. Facebook is Swine Brothers and Twitter Swine Bros 666. I'm your host, Elliot Lindamood, alongside...
I am the Jim. I defecate on the universe.
And he doesn't want to introduce himself. He's Dave.
Yep.
Sorry about my computer turning itself off last time. And thanks to my two co-hosts for covering for my ass.
I did a half-ass job.
I did the other half of an ass.
So you did a one-ass job with both of you.
I would say we aimed for that. Whether we achieved that might be a different story. I mean, we were caught unawares. I mean, we did pretty well for, the situation as it presented itself. So
I ceased caring about as soon as I opened my mouth about it. So
I just kind of had to sit there and restart my computer, but I think they did an okay job. So they will live. Now on to Friday, where my computer will not turn itself off.
How you say that now?
Oh, shut up, Chaz. I mean, Dave. Shut up, Dave.
anyways, let's get this shindig started.
Yes.
The butcher babies say nipple tape was meant as a fuck you to music industry. Deny it had anything to do with sex.
And I say, well, yeah, fuck you, Jim. Because, well, I don't think I'm going anymore to that Ozfest thing, but I had to hear them live, or I had to hear a couple songs from them to kind of understand. I guess I didn't, but I like to understand who I'm talking about. So we had to actually hear a couple songs from them. May I recommend some Mouth Tape?
Yeah. Fuck, it was boring as shit. Your typical groove kind of attempt at metal that everyone else does. You heard one, you heard them all, and it's boring.
Well...
It has absolutely no passion. I'd say even Slipknot even had more passion. And that's pathetic if you heard our review of that.
I mean, yeah. Although no one did, because everyone just stopped after the Baby Metal review.
Yeah, kill them.
Although, I mean, of course, there's the novelty factor of, oh my god, they're all women.
Yeah. Anyways, Metal Underground conducted an interview with Butcher Babies front women Heidi and Carla on April 22nd of this year. And here's the excerpt on being called slut metal.
I just call them boring. I mean, as I said to Jim, they may be hot, but surely we can do better than this, like Doro Pesh or Jinx Dawson or fucking Betsy from Bitch.
Oh, it's kind of sad, really, because their attempts at being edgy are blonde chicks all look the same.
Yeah, that is. The music, I would describe it a little bit more as more of a...
So Pink wasn't original when she started saying that eventually later on after she first came out and looked completely different.
She said this 15 years earlier, but I would describe Butcher Babies as more of a new metal, modern day take on like new metal, more blast beats.
What the hell are you doing here?
Chaz, knock that shit off, really?
Knock what shit off?
Whatever you're doing with the fucking mic.
Nothing, I wasn't doing anything with the mic.
It keeps getting this weird feedback or whatever the hell you did to move it, get wind in it, or whatever.
Jesus, that is loud. Anyway, and the vocals, by the way, are probably the worst I've ever heard.
Yeah. Anyways, Carla says it's funny because years ago someone said, oh, this is a new genre of music called slut metal.
I always thought slut metal would be stuff like, like some of like the really scum metal with like women vocalists or whatever, like fucking, you know, like the Runaways meets thrash or something.
That would be cool.
Yeah, wouldn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Someone needs to create that for us.
Mm-hmm. Heidi says it was some douchebag on YouTube that first called us that. Which I got to point left that fucking guy on YouTube who said that because this is nothing like that. It's nowhere
No.
near. They are nowhere near as cool as sluts are.
I mean, like, Bitch, you can argue that the band Bitch was a slutty band, albeit good-humoredly. They had their humorous kind of S&M get-up or whatever. You could argue that. I mean, it was definitely sleazy, but, yeah, this is just...
Yeah. And we thought it was hilarious. And so when someone brought it up one time, we laughed about it. And all of a sudden, we were a self-proclaimed slut metal. Carla responded, "We've learned over the years not to necessarily repeat things all the time on social media because people really just regurgitate it. Yep. And something that you think is funny, other people don't get the joke. And it may turn into something serious."
Look at the band Shining, who call themselves suicidal black metal. And now there's a whole genre of suicidal black metal. And it's basically not even... They just play really slow and sing about how their girlfriend left them. So you can do stuff with the best of intentions or as a joke, whatever, and people will take it seriously, and yeah.
Okay, so they move on to another question. On the period in the band's history when they used to perform topless with tape over their nipples, Wendy O. Williams style, Carla replies, "It was completely blown out of proportion. When we first started this band, we didn't do it to get out there and strut around on stage like Playboy models, which you look like Suicide Girls. Anyway.
I hated Suicide Girls. I hate it. It just seems so poserific to me. I mean, maybe I'm the only one. I don't know. Also, I'm blind, so I can't see it. But I always thought the Suicide Girl kind of culture, because it was kind of a culture in a website. I just thought it was kind of poserific.
Jury's out. They got some hotties. Others are like, meh. Most are meh.
Meh.
Yeah, well, it's just emos trying to be sexy.
Yeah, exactly. Poserific.
Yeah.
Thank you, Charles.
I'll get behind that. We did it as a kind of fuck you to the cookie cutter music industry. We were playing tribute to a woman in metal that we respected, Wendy O. Williams, so why would you care about being called a slut or worry about what the internet's saying?
And by the way, Wendy O. Williams, I never really liked the Plasmatics, to be honest. I just thought they were more, kind of like the Sex Pistols were a little more hype over. Although I actually like the Sex Pistols, I just thought they were a little hype over. Oh look, they're going to destroy television. Oh look, the singer's going to run around topless. And yet there was just no substance in the music. Like, I don't know. And by the way, you're talking about being obviously they respect her. They got the name from one of her songs, by the way. You want to be different from cookie cutter metal or music industry music, just not sounding cookie cutter.
This is cookie cutter. Anyway.
Yeah, their music is totally.
And the show has never been sexual ever. Heidi replies, "What you see now is exactly what it was then, just with the nipple tape. And that was it. And everyone who saw the show, they knew it was nothing sexual."
The funny thing is they share label Napalm Death. I always wonder what the Christmas party will be like. Yeah, we're a forward-thinking grindcore band with thoughtful lyrics, and we do different things in our music. We play lame nu metal.
That attempts to be hardcore, but fails. You didn't go to a Wendy O. Williams show and see her blow up cards in her nipple tape and think that's sexual. Some people did, but anyway.
Actually, yeah, it was kind of built around the body of hers, actually. That was what the whole band was built around.
Even our band was named after a Wendy O song. For us, that's a female who paved the way for us to do what we do.
Others are available.
And as Carla stated, that was a big, giant fuck you to the music industry when they said, so many times I was told, no, you don't look like that you like metal, so you can't do that. You're going to be a country singer. That just happened to me. No, we're not. No, we're going to cut your hair. You're going to be 19 and you're going to sing country.
Well,
They probably have a better career doing that, even dressed as they are.
no, well, I was gonna say, well, you obviously were, you never heard of like the DIY do things yourself. Plus, your influences listed on Wikipedia at least are Slipknot, Marilyn Manson, Slayer, and Pantera.
I heard absolutely no
Oh, I
Slayer.
heard Pantera.
I heard heavy Pantera
I
and
heard
Slipknot.
I heard knockoffs of Slayer, like very, very bad knockoffs in the attempted fast sections.
Nah, I wouldn't even go that far.
No, you're nicer than I am.
I guess.
No.
And that's the music industry in reality. And for us, it was kind of just a big fuck you. Don't tell me what to look like. Don't tell me what to sound like. Don't tell me what to be.
Please tell
And you're listening to producers way too much if you're actually paying attention to them saying, do this, do that.
I just rendered the Carcass song, I Told You So, corporate rock really sucks. Sorry. Yeah, you're listening to producers far too much and not just, getting together with your friends and jamming. You probably entered some sort of... I know I said that I would bet there's some part of me that would bet that it wasn't put together, but it might have been. But it just sounds like to me that you're spending too much time with producers, not just jamming out like all the other bands.
Yeah, really.
And just jam out and just get signed on their own merits. You literally sound like OTEP's less pretentious sister. And I'm saying less pretentious because OTEP's lyrics are pretentious as hell. Feminist claptrap. You sound like OTEP's less pretentious sister. And OTEP sounds like every other band if it weren't for the vocalist. So, who's a woman, so,
Yeah.
That's the only difference. Oh my God, tits.
Well, anyways, let's move on to the next article because I really got nothing more to say there.
I'll say one thing. Other female-fronted bands are available.
Yes, there are plenty.
And there are plenty better ones.
Anyways, I want people to treat me like a plastic sex doll.
Oh, yes. Thank you to, I think it was Tony from BGK who sent this to me about 2 years ago or so. BGK is a hardcore punk band. And I always remembered it, but I never, maybe you could describe what she looks like, too, because I hear she's a nightmare.
Yeah, it is nightmarish. Dear God. I'll describe it more later.
Yes, okay.
Anyways, the subtitle is Woman has hypnotherapy to make her brainless like Barbie after spending £25,000 on breast enhancements.
This is from the Daily Mail, but this story is from some wonderful and mysterious place called California, which I hope to visit one day, which I am nowhere in no way from.
Yeah.
Because I'm embarrassed by this story.
As you should be. A woman who has dedicated her life to transforming herself into Barbie is taking her obsession with becoming a doll to extreme lengths by having hypnotherapy to make her brainless. Blondie Bennett, 38, from California, has sessions once a week to make her more easily confused and vacant.
Do you think she just goes and sits and smokes a load of weed?
By the way, this is from 2 years ago. If someone could give us or 3 years ago, someone could give us like an updated story on this, that would be great.
Yes, we'll read it on air.
Well, they'll usually only do the circuit, so it will sort of bounce around every sort of few years. It will come out into the mainstream.
Yeah, but I mean, I want to know if he's made any progress, and now she's a typical SJW generation wusser.
Uh-huh. The former model, who changed her name to Blondie a year and a half ago from the writing of this article, has also spent £25,000 on 5 breast enlargements, taking her to a size 32 double J. And those boobs are like at least twice the size of her. Each one is twice the size of her head. And that's including the really, really puffed out fucking lip implants. They're just like...
She sounds like Lulu Ferrari.
Here, put Jim screen share with Chazzy.
This thing won't let me screen share. Let's see.
Professionalism here.
Yeah, here we go.
Chaz.
Yeah, hold on a
There
second.
you go.
Right, keep it there. Give me 2 secs.
There you go. See, look at them lips and them eyes.
I can't see anything, hold on. Right, I see, yeah. Yeah, it kind of reminds me a bit like Lulu Ferrari.
And who the hell is Lulu Ferrari?
She was this big-titted blonde bitch on Eurotrash.
Oh, okay.
Anyways.
She was kind of, I think she was featured in one episode, and then after that went on to be sort of like a regular guest.
You guys can look it up later. That's Ferrari, as in the car. It's a fairly common name in Italy, actually.
Anyways, she is now unemployed and earns a living by taking money from online sugar daddies who support her in exchange for sexy pictures of her dressed as Barbie.
My God.
Blondie regularly has spray tans, Botox, and lip fillers to give her a more artificial appearance. Well, that's artificial as fuck.
She even has a pink car that she drives around him, and one of my friends actually says he's seen her around.
But to make the transformation into the plastic toy complete, she is actively trying to become more stupid.
She sounds like already stupid anyway.
Yep. I was going to say, it sounds like that ship has sailed along a fucking gap.
Yes.
She said, when people ask why I want to be Barbie, I think, why wouldn't I want to be?
Well, I can talk about unrealistic standards of beauty, but, basically because Barbie's not real. If I want to be someone, I want to be someone real. Like, I want to be Jeffrey Dahmer minus the gay sex.
There we go. She has the best life. Good. Turn on your speakers.
Yeah, that's very loud. And
sorry, is it bleeding through?
Yes, totally.
Yeah.
There you go. How's that?
Boo. There. She has the best life. All she does is shop and make herself look pretty. She doesn't worry about anything. I've had 20 sessions, and I'm already starting to feel ditzy, and confused all the time.
I knew girls like that in my high school, and I need not tell you I hated them because they could never hold on a interesting conversation because they wouldn't understand the finer points of what I'm saying. And they would just, oh God, the sheer airheadedness of some of their things they'd say is just, where's the murder button?
Recently, I went to pick up a friend at the airport and couldn't remember if I needed to go to departures or arrivals. I also got lost for 3 hours driving to my mom's house, the house where I grew up. And they have a nice little video inserted of the whole thing.
So essentially, by the sounds of it, she's giving herself brain damage.
Yes.
Well, you just do that drinking yourself to death. It's more fun and...
Blondie says her obsession with Barbie began at a young age, when she played with the children's favorite. In her teens, she dressed like Barbie, bleached her hair, and even drove a Corvette like her hero. Then at 18, she began to take on promotional jobs at toy stores pretending to be Barbie. People thought it was just a phase, but I thought to myself, as soon as I move out of home, I'm going to turn myself into Barbie. My friends hated me, hated the attention I got from guys because of how I dressed.
You wouldn't get any attention from my friends. I mean, unless attention means us laughing at you. I mean, and yes, that is the attention you get with my friends. We just basically be like, you're serious?
Mm-hmm. Uh, I was forced to live a double life up until about 8 years ago when I decided to become Barbie for real and ignore what other people said. Last August, Barbie had her H-cup implants increased to a JJ with 1,700 cubic centimeter saline implants.
That's just retarded.
Yes, you are talking boobs. Uh,
That's literally the stupidest thing I've ever heard.
and in December, she had chin liposuction to contour her face so she looked more like a Barbie.
This is what happens when spoiled people get too much money.
Yeah, more money than sense, I think, is the common phrase used.
Yes. Well, I think
Yeah.
she needs mental help. Not hypnotherapy to be stupider, but just put away somewhere.
Well, the fact is, hypnosis doesn't quite work the way that Hollywood makes it out, and this clearly seems to want to be trying to represent that form of hypnosis.
Yeah, but
So all of this going on is just in her head. All of this guy's doing is enabling her to have a fantasy.
exactly. But that's what she wants. She doesn't care how real. She doesn't care how real the hypnosis is or how it actually works. All she wants it to do is work. I mean, so for all we know, he might be like hitting her over the head with a hammer a couple times, or just enabling her to have a fancy. But that's all she wants to do. She doesn't. She, you know.
Oh, God, these fucking tits are fucking horrendous. Dear God. I mean, I like them large but not like this big. No, this is going too far.
So
You
Jim,
get the impression from her that a lot of this might have to do with her aging and her sort of insecurities about that, maybe.
So Jim, it's a no from you. You would not have sex with her.
Oh, hell no. My cock would go nowhere near this thing. No, maybe whenever she was 18. I mean, look at this. This is actually semi-attractive. And stylized, idolized from Barbie young age.
Basically, before she looked like the dead singer of Dead or Alive.
Yep.
I don't know. I don't know that band. So.
They did the song "You Spin Me Right Round, Baby, Right Round."
Yeah, I've repressed that song.
Some other women pretend that they are human Barbie dolls, but I take it to the next level. I want people to see me as a plastic sex doll, and being brainless is a big part of that. People can criticize me, but this is who I am. I want my transformation to be head to toe, inside and out.
Well, Blondie Bennett, I hope you enjoy your new life.
Oh,
I'm
God.
just like, how would you react if you were her like brother or father? Or some, I never had that kid. I don't know who she is.
Yeah, pretty
Yes. She wants to be a brainless sex doll. So she can hit up sugar daddies and then forget the fact that she's supposed to get money in exchange for pictures and not actually whore herself out.
I'd start calling her Prototype Marvin because she'd be your plastic pal that's fun to be with.
Actually, the one who's really fun to me is Marvin the Paranoid Android. I'd hang out with him, but who wouldn't? Other than fucking preppy people. But so yes, if someone could give us some update on how her transformation is going, or if she's just completely snapped and is out there right now on the warpath, let me know, please.
All right, so let's go from female stupidity to male stupidity.
Oh, hey, we're equal opportunity offenders here, and Chaz has bestowed upon me the honor of offender of the realm.
And let's just face it, men do plenty of stupid things.
Yes, like start shows called Swine Brothers.
Mm-hmm.
And this is from Snopes.
Snopes. I love Snopes. The only problem with Snopes is it's one of the greatest time kill examples I can think of.
Anyways, man copulates with McChicken sandwich in shock viral video. This is why McChicken was trending a couple weeks ago.
You fucking described it to me, and now oh God.
You like thinking of that big impressive member between those buns, hey? Did you? Oh.
I don't want to puke again. I puked last week.
A mixture of the dark and white meat, hey? All smothered with mayo.
Jim, hurry, now.
In mid-August 2016, the term McChicken began topping trending topics lists on social media for what most users initially imagined was promotional reasons.
Yeah. God, can you just imagine, like, the little Christian, like, girl or guy is like, well, McChicken, I wonder what
Yeah, I know. Dear God, the video is disgusting. However, those who clicked on related links did not find news of a McDonald's coupon promotional deal or reboot of the sandwich. In a rumor evocative of several long-circulating urban legends about semen and fast food, the viral hashtag and topic stemmed from a video depicting what appeared to be a man graphically engaged in a sex act with a McChicken sandwich.
Copulation with a chicken sandwich.
Well, let's just say it. I mean, they say a sex act. He was wanking himself off with a chicken sandwich. Let's just...
Yeah, but that's the sex act.
Yeah, look up the grapefruit trick. This is essentially what happened, except he wasn't going into a woman's mouth.
Okay. Thank you, Jim.
Anyways.
Should have done it with a breakfast bagel.
There we go. Yeah, but imagine how hot that would be. Well, if it was warmed up.
The explicit content of the video meant that the McChicken trend soon became a sort of online game of whack-a-mole, where users of social networks eagerly sought the clip, but only to express film regret they did so.
That's how trying. But I just wondered if like there's some like some middle-aged like housewife, never done like a dirty thing in her life when, oh, McChicken sandwich. I wonder if they're gonna bring a new chick. Kill.
All the sample tweets they got here are like people saying, "Oh my God, I'm traumatized for life," pretty much.
And then of course she goes insane and kills 25 people.
To which I said, "You never saw my dad's porn collection."
Well, that's what I meant. Totally innocent.
Well, who hasn't really? I think you can see that thing on Google Maps, can't you?
Probably.
I don't know. Depends where it is now.
Especially under a black light.
All these years later.
For those who wished to watch a review of the viral video rather than the clip itself, other netizens provided fellow users a leg up on the controversy. There might still be intact copies of the video. The identical clips are obviously graphic and include no foreplay, launching directly into a close-up of the footage of a man apparently boinking a McChicken sandwich.
Boink, isn't he the deity of deicide?
Yes. That teaches feces is the root of everything, and he would probably have sex with a McChicken, considering he had sex with just about everything else.
Yes, if you don't know what we're talking about, you need to watch our Pathfinder. Well, not actually. Well, he's brought it up on the show.
Yeah. Oh God. Okay. So the logical conclusion of this would be Why I Don't Give Blowjobs by Allison Stevenson.
Oh, I thought that was like some sort of revelation to whether it was fake or not.
Okay. I don't suck dick. That's the deal, plain and simple. I know this statement is sure to enrage heaps of men and even women who consider blowjobs a mandatory part of anyone's sexual repertoire.
No, not really. I don't really like them.
They're fun for an appetizer, but I like to go in for the main course.
They're not my thing.
Uh, I totally get that. Here's the thing, though. I fucking hate it. I've never enjoyed cramming a penis in my mouth.
Okay, well, I don't really enjoy anyway.
Now, before you go and report me to the MRA, like it's a government foundation, I want to clarify that this does not at all mean I hate penises.
The Men's Republican Army? What are they like? They're an all men's variant of the IRA.
Probably. Maybe that's what she's thinking.
No, I think she's making a joke.
And failing. Anyways, I don't think they are ugly or gross. The standard penis has quite a practical and sleek design, which I greatly admire.
No, actually, but
Nah.
I'm giving too much information. Yeah, it's pretty ugly, actually.
As much as I love my vagina and all its parts, I do often find myself jealous of how worry-free the penis seems to be. I don't know about worry-free. I mean, sometimes it's just so awkward you feel the urge to adjust yourself, but you're out in public. I mean, for me, it's no problem because I'm a vulgar son of a bitch, but, you know. For others, they might try to be polite, and it'll just get really uncomfortable, and it feels like it's turning into an innie.
Jim, what's he doing? He's adjusting his privates again, and that's when I got banned from the royal house. That's when I got thrown out of Buckingham Palace.
Yep. If you tried talking to a penis about daily discharge, menstruation, pH balance, or pap smears, what the fuck is that shit going on?
I don't know. Just ignore it.
The penis would have nothing to say in return. Mostly because it's a penis, and penises can't talk. Yay, failed joke number 2. But also because it doesn't have to deal with these things.
Yeah, true. But, whatever. We have to deal with other things, such as I have to deal with stupidity, which will just keep my chronic headaches coming back.
Not only that, but it doesn't even require a wipe after urination. But you better shake the fucker.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Kudos to you, penis. All I'm saying is that I despise the act of putting one in my mouth and forcing my mouth to partake in the motions my hand or vagina could perform instead.
Okay, I'm perfectly fine with this.
I currently have a man in my life who I'm not exactly dating, but who comes over about once a week to eat me out.
And then I smash his head against the wall about 20 times.
The only thing I give him in return is a pat on the back for doing a good job.
Some people like pats on the back.
Some people think this arrangement is strange, but I prefer to think of it as pretty damn close to perfect.
Yeah, if that's what you want. I'm looking for more of an emotional connection with someone rather than just a sexual thing because, you live your life lonely and angry at the world, you kind of get bored.
Yeah.
I'm looking for contrasts here.
It was on our second date that I gave him the opportunity to suck on my clitoris. After thanking him for giving me a ride home, I simply said, "Want to come up to my place and eat me out?" He gave me an enthusiastic yes, and we got to it. I sat on his face until I came, then sent him home.
Get out! Get out now!
Ungrateful bitch.
Yeah.
Hey, some people like that. Some people like being ordered around.
And some people
Yeah,
like that kind
Japanese
of frustration.
businessmen.
What?
Yeah,
I said Japanese businessmen.
and I
Oh
said
yeah.
some people get off on the frustration.
And I
Yeah, Japanese businessmen.
would just shrug and say, back to death metal.
Achoo! Bless me.
Like Japanese businessmen who don't listen to death metal.
Yes, they do. They listen to that baby metal, and that's
Fuck you,
the number one best metal
shut up.
produced in like the last 10 years. So I hear from
Shut
the
up.
reliable folks
Shut your mouth.
at your favourite publication.
Metal Hammer, yeah. Thank you. Jim, continue before I kill this son of a bitch.
This has been our arrangement for a little over 2 months now. If you're wondering why we don't have sex, it's because I made a promise to myself not to have sex until I'm in a relationship, but you're having oral sex.
Well, no, basically what it is she's just using men as masturbatory aids. That's it.
Yeah, like I said, some men
She's like-
like being used.
She can now justify, you know, the slutty foreplay in favour of the kind of, you know, Mary, Mother of God virginity she's showing by, you know, not wanting to have sex until she's in a relationship, which is great, because thanks to the fact that she's in denial about the fact that she has commitment issues, she'll never be in a relationship.
I mean, I wouldn't really have sex unless I'm in a relationship, but that's only because I also get off on the emotional, not just the physical.
While this guy is obviously very generous, the chemistry is not really there when it comes to the little things, like conversation.
Yeah, I mean, hey, she's having fun and he's doing it, so.
Yeah, no, but come on, this is Swine Brothers. We've got to take a country view. Let's see. Right, I've got it. She's being a bitch. Let's just. I don't know. Put that.
I'm
out
only a contrarian if I care, and I just.
Well, I mean, here's the thing. There are lots of women who do this. I mean, she's not the first one. There are lots of women that do this. They'll string along a man that they don't really have any interest in, but they don't want them to have interest in other people. And so she'll keep stringing this guy along because...
I know, I've been strung along before, and I did it willingly because I was bored. And then when she broke up with me, I was like, yeah, I knew it wasn't anything. And she's like, wait, why did you go along so much? I was like, because
he's kind
I
of
was
in the friend zone with benefits, really, isn't he?
Yeah, friends with benefits, that sort of thing.
Well, no, I mean, but it's not like friends with benefits where it's just like, look, we're just two friends who happen to share a kind of mutual attraction to each other. We're not in love, there is no relationship, but occasionally we like to get drunk and high and fool about, yeah? That would be friends with benefits.
Well,
what they've got is kind of like a mixture of friends with benefits done in the style of the friend zone. So where he doesn't get the fucking octopus mouth to the fucking knob end, but he gets to basically be her lesbian girlfriend.
Yeah, but he may enjoy it.
Who gives a shit? We gotta shit on them both.
I just don't care.
Personally, if I was him, I'd be going out and banging every other bitch I could find. Don't be fucking settling down with this one fucking woman, mate. She's never going to do it. Go out and find yourself a real fucking woman. One who actually is willing to put a fucking dick in her mouth might be a good start.
Well,
that's actually my ultimate test of a woman. If she's not willing to at least put a dick in her mouth every once in a while, jog her the fuck on, entitled little cunt.
Which wouldn't work for me because I don't like the act anyway, so it doesn't really matter. But see, I'm more of a.
I'm not a huge fan of it, but I at least like them to do it every once in a while. They want me to slam down on their clam. The least they can do is put a cock in their mouth every once.
Yeah, but I like slamming down on their clam. But see, here's my thing. Like my thing would be like my friends. Oh, I bet you're really really bummed out that you're not doing anything more. No, I just do what she asks, and I go listen to metal.
Bored Saturday night. This is what we do.
Yeah, you should see what I do when I'm bored on Saturday night, Jim. Oh wait, you have
Copious amounts of masturbating.
no.
And you've
whilst
heard my
wanking along to metal.
What's that, Jim?
and you've heard my hooker story.
Yes, I've heard your hooker story, which I think is hilarious. But you've already seen what I do bored on Saturday night, Jim. It's
You slept with a rugby player.
No, it was a crack whore. Or some sort of whore. And Jim had some unfun.
Yes. Anyways, since starting things with him, I have resolved never to suck a dick again. I have also resolved to refuse getting romantically involved with any man who doesn't want...
Any man
Yes.
what? No, I didn't say anything.
Okay.
You're
Refuse getting romantically involved with any man who doesn't want to eat me out.
Okay.
The real root of the problem seems to be that too many straight dudes are under the impression that women orgasm from penetration. Actually, that does happen, and it depends upon how good you are at it, how long you last, and if you hit the right spot.
Yeah, but it's not the only thing, and I kind of agree that a lot of people do kind of think that's the only thing. Because people are uneducated, you know.
Yes, they don't know where the clitoris is. I know this.
Find the clitoris. All you gotta do is find the clitoris.
Mm-hmm.
South Park reference. See, even I make South Park references every now and then.
The only thing a man has been able to give me during penetrative sex is HPV.
Well, you know, that's fun.
Well, we see the fucking class of male that she's hanging around with then. This is starting to make some sense by the minute, this is.
I have never been able to come from penetration alone, and I'm in the majority. Between 50 to 75% of women need clitoral stimulation to achieve orgasm. I don't know where the statistic's coming from.
She's misquoting there is actually proper research in this. Women are more likely to orgasm with their clitoris. Any woman has the ability pretty much to orgasm from penetrative stimulation, but there's lots of things that have to go into it, like mood and sort of like speed and things like that. So, you know,
time and all that other shit.
Yeah. I mean, you could have a woman, you could fuck her one day, and, you know, like, she could be just fucking squirting all over your dick, and then the next time you fuck her, she's not really going to get there. It's because there's a load more stuff that goes on with women when it comes to sex than men, and it's all part of our evolution.
Okay. Think of my clitoris as Alaska, while my vagina is Russia. If you need a less cold or oppressive analogy, replace Alaska with South Korea and Russia with North Korea.
So your vagina murders people by shooting them because they fell asleep at your fucking speech, and you shoot them with the fucking assault right, or was it anti-aircraft gun? That's a powerful vagina right there.
I think she's saying you can go to Korea, but everybody will be a lot happier if you pick South Korea.
I thought, see, I was going something cool. And, wait, I think I'd be happier in Russia than Alaska.
I'm fully aware that there is such a thing as stimulating myself while being fucked. However, I've never actually been able to make this work for me. For me to reach orgasm, I need to concentrate. Concentrate
on coming. Concentrate on, oh look, death metal.
I have to give my clitoris my full attention if it's going to give me the results I want. This level of concentration is hard to obtain while a guy is bouncing in and out of me, rhetorically speaking, asking me if I like that.
That's the worst thing you can do, right? People think that, you know, dirty talk works during sex, and a lot of the time it doesn't, because when you, and certainly you don't want to be asking questions, you want to really be making statements, because if you're asking, oh, do you like that, do you like that, is that good, what you're really doing is, A, you're killing your confidence that they have in you, which turns them off you, because you look less like an alpha, and B, you're asking them to engage a different part of their brain to respond to you with linguistics. So the best thing to do is to make statements like "you like that."
I have to agree and disagree. First of all, no one looks less like an alpha than me. Second of all, well, I do different kind of questions. I go, what do you think of the next election? Who are you voting for and why? Tell me.
Do you think we should keep the fiat system or try and go back to the gold standard?
Fuck.
What do you think of the new system around Norwich, or what the great Alan Partridge thing, where he's trying to talk dirty in bed and is just failing spectacularly?
If Corbyn wins due to the Conservatives losing large amounts of seats to third parties, how likely do you think it would be that members of the Green Party and SNP might decide to just fuck with Corbyn rather than work on his side?
I'm sorry, Chad, she just killed herself because she had to hear you talking for 30 seconds.
I know, right? Why do you think I'm doing this show? I'm trying to murder as many people as possible.
Oh, God.
Look, I know that my years of being denied oral sex is my fault. I was a different person then. I never asked for what I wanted because I worried it would make me seem less attractive.
No, actually, that makes you seem more attractive because I'm tired of playing freaking games.
Yeah, really.
Yeah, I'm tired of playing well, what do you want? So I just give up and go home.
It's something a lot of women
Can I have
feel.
my balls back?
It's something a lot of women feel, and it's more important to fulfill a man's desires over your own. But that's not... Okay. You know, in order to keep him, even the most headstrong, self-reliant, progressive women fall victim to this line of thinking.
Well, do you know what it is? We focus so much about the women having pleasure. You know, there's these whole industries of things like 50 Shades of Grey, and the whole thing is about, you know, a woman finding a man who can do everything to her that she needs and more. But the thing is, what they don't understand, women, one of the best ways to get pleasure when you're having sex with somebody else is to see that they're reciprocating this bonding. So, you know, if she sucked a dick once in a while and felt her cock going hard in her mouth because she's doing the right thing, maybe, just maybe, she'd be less of a whiny cunt.
Whatever. You know, she likes what she likes and doesn't like what she doesn't like.
Because all of these women say they don't give blowjobs, right? I don't know if I've spoken to thousands of girls who've all said the same thing, yeah? They generally don't give blowjobs, and because they're like, oh, I just can't be bothered. But when they actually give one, they're then like, yeah, I forget how much I like giving blowjobs.
Yeah,
I've
done it a couple times and seen no reason to do it ever again. What, Jess?
You've sucked a cock?
No, I've gotten blowjobs. Shut up, Jess.
Oh.
Fucking. And I see no reason to do it ever again. It left me probably the most flat I can ever feel. Rather than, I felt like I got so bored. I started thinking, I could be watching golf right now, and I don't even like golf. I find golf boring, but that's more exciting than this.
I will say this: a lot of the women that I've had blowjobs off, they just don't know. A lot of women just don't know how to handle a cock. It's not that hard, yet they seem to struggle. They either be too soft with it, and they're not really stimulating it, or they try being a bit too rough with it, and then it's just kind of like, nah, you've gone from that it was pleasurable to now into this is painful.
There was just nothing pleasurable, and I got bored, and I started thinking, I could be reading a political screed by someone really boring.
See, I've only gotten off from a blowjob from two people. One was this one chick that I cheated on this other chick with back in my teenage years, I think 19 or so. And then my ex-wife, she was the one that did it regularly and completely broke me and gave me a crooked cock for a while.
Thank you for sharing the information with us.
Yeah.
She snapped your banjo string, did she?
Yep.
Thanks.
I have finally been able to fully shed myself of my meekness when it comes to sex, and I know now that I can only demand what I want, but also deny what I don't want. Blowjobs.
Yeah, well, I'd rather have someone say, no, I don't like that, than, well, I'll do it, but I just be honest. If you don't want to do it, then say it, and they're like, okay, well, I'd rather have that than, because why not be pleasurable for both?
Mm.
And, if you can't get over, if you really need fellatio, then I suggest go seeing some sort of horror. Or they have sex toys for that now.
Yeah.
Yep.
Anyways, Allison Stevenson wrote a follow-up saying why I still don't give blowjobs.
Oh, yes.
Why I
Most
still
of the, she
care.
adds the caveat, most of the time.
Why I still don't care. I didn't care the first time. I don't care now.
We know what it was. She got a bit of fucking viral sensation and off of that one, and I don't think she's quite lived that high again. So then a year later, she was like, "Do you know what? I'm going to write a follow-up piece and try and be relevant again."
You know that.
Yeah.
You know how much I don't care about this. I'm trying to defend her just because I'm bored. This is boring. Hurry up.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's the main thing about this thing. I'm trying to make it interesting, but the whole subject really is boring and unnewsworthy. And I think it just goes to show that Freud was right about how a larger proportion of our behavior is sort of compulsed by sex. Because you get even the most mundane fucking sex story and it still goes viral.
Yep.
Freud is never right about anything. I don't care how right he actually is. I just can't stand the guy.
Anyways, over the past year, I've been asked on countless occasions, hey, aren't you that girl who doesn't suck dick? It happens at parties, while waiting to order a drink at a bar, on Tinder.
At church.
I find it funny that people ask this woman if she's the woman that doesn't
Chaz,
suck dick,
Chaz,
because her
you're
fucking
ruining the
journalism certainly lost its gag reflex.
Chaz, you're ruining the joke. At church. And so we prayed to God. Hey, aren't you that girl who doesn't suck dick?
Oh, well, let us pray.
See, I was thinking like I like to think of the most inappropriate situations to ask questions like
No,
that.
do you know what it'll be? It'll be at a family barbecue, yeah? And her dad will turn around and go, do you want a wiener? And then the mum will come out and go, oh no dear, I hear she doesn't put those in her mouth anymore.
Or better. And this is your little cousin Tommy. He's 5 years old. Hey, aren't you that girl who doesn't suck dick?
And also, isn't Tinder that fucking site where all you do is you see a pic and you say whether you like it or not, and it's essentially just used to hook
Well,
up
you
and
can
fuck?
look at more pics, because you can open their profile and see more pics. But yeah, it's essentially just looking at a photo and deciding from face value whether you'd fuck them or not.
Wow, that sounds like something I'd
There are
love
bios.
to do.
There's like a little sort of Twitter-esque bio type thing.
So, she's pretty much mentioning everywhere where you would go to look for a cheap fuck.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that sounds like some place that I'd love to go, right, Jim? Tinder. Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds like my kind of place, not?
Well, people do find relationships on Tinder, but the large body of people use it for the same thing that dating websites have been used for ages. There are adults out there, and adults just want to be able to have a system, and I think it's kind of great, where you could just go on a system and just put, hey, anybody want to have sex? And somebody else puts, I wouldn't mind some sex. Shall we have some sex together? Yes,
Okay,
please.
fine.
This is the day we'll have the sex.
Fine, I'm not condemning it. I'm just saying it's not for me.
Anyways, perhaps this shouldn't be surprising since I told the internet that I don't give blowjobs last March.
Plus, you're on Tinder. You're not on like some sort of like. I've actually met a couple on OkCupid who are actually interested in me, not so much as my photo, but I give interesting answers to the questions.
Yes.
Since my favorite was the blind man. Would you save a blind man or his dog? And I'm like, you'd save me, damn it! And then they're like, oh, you're blind. I was like, yeah. And then they're like, wait, you'd burn down an art gallery? And I was like, shit, yeah.
But I honestly didn't think it would be that big of a deal. Well, no, it isn't.
Yeah, I'm very bored.
Yeah, fuck. Let's do this real quick. That is her picture right there. Boom.
Boom.
Yeah, boom. I don't
Goes the
care.
dynamite.
Yep.
Shut up, Chazzy.
So it wasn't that big of a deal. No, it wasn't. As it turns out, I was very wrong. In my piece, I wrote about how after years of men expecting me to suck their dicks without ever reciprocating, I was fed up. You didn't ask, so you didn't give. Unless you meet someone like me who demands it, now I got a chick telling me don't do it. So, what? Anyways, if men expect to get an orgasm out of a hookup without having to give anything in return, then I would adopt that approach too. As much as I dislike forever being associated with blowjobs or the lack thereof, I'm glad it started a real conversation about the unfairness of giving and receiving of pleasure during sex between heterosexual partners. You must be really dating the wrong crowd if they're not fucking
Uh,
eating you up.
that must be a really interesting conversation. I'm an asshole.
Yep.
I was actually trying to get a real yawn because I can't really do fake yawns, and I couldn't even get a real fucking yawn, and that's how bored I am.
Writing it was therapeutic for me too. I'm less angry than I was then and a lot happier with myself and how I approach sex. And while it's a little awkward when guys message me on Tinder and they tell me they know who I am, the no blowjob girl, the upside is that they at least know where I stand and must agree with it on some level. But here's the thing. Since I wrote that article, I have sucked dick.
Bum bum bum.
This story sucks a lot of dick.
Yep.
Yep. Please, legions of haters, don't take this on as some sort of win. I wouldn't. I vowed never to suck dick the same way I vowed never to eat an entire baguette in one sitting. Deep down,
Those are fun.
Do you think she's been practicing on the baguettes and that's why she sucks it now?
if you can find one that big.
deep down, I knew it would happen again eventually.
Well, I vow never to read this story again, and I know it will never happen again because I'm going to go out of my way to avoid it.
These days, when I choose to give blowjobs, it's under particular circumstances. Namely, that my partner has already taken the time to eat me out, to make me come, and respect my sexual needs.
Or that I'm just too drunk to feel anything.
So you weren't even looking for balance whenever... reciprocation, yay. You don't give a shit. I give blowjobs when they're deserved. The problem is, they are very rarely are.
Yeah, true. Whatever.
I
I'm
don't
just
even
gonna
give
agree
a
with
shit.
everything. I'm just gonna agree with everything she says from now on.
If a man is making me feel like a weekend song, I'm not going to suck his dick. If you don't text me back, you don't deserve a mouth on your dick. Okay, so...
Whatever. Sure, why not?
She's picking real winners. On the other hand, if a guy treats me like a woman whose needs he respects and goes down on me first, then sure, I'll consider going down on him. But getting to that place has always been the struggle. So how many people have you been fucking in order to... What?
Sure, why not?
I mean, I'm not gonna fucking judge you for...
Sounds like a lot.
I'm not gonna judge the number of people, but it sounds like you're picking a lot of real winners here. Maybe you should be a
Oh,
little bit
come
more
on, Jim.
selective.
Like you can talk.
Yeah, I know. I've done some depraved shit.
Yeah. It's all high and mighty, like, hey, you're not picking any winners. And it's just like, dude, I remember your stories. I remember the horror story.
God. Penetration is great, but no matter how long, curved, or fat your dick is, it's not going to happen for me. That's true for plenty of other women, too. It's the clit or bust. In other words, if a guy and I have sex, but I don't suck his dick, he can still come. If we have sex and he doesn't eat me out, I can't.
Okay.
I'm fine with that.
I don't care.
But hold on, I want to use one of her excuses. What if I don't want to lick you out? What if I just want to get you off in my fingers? Because it's easier.
Then you do that.
Yeah, do it. For far too long, it's been okay to shun cunnilingus. I hear men all the time who say, nah, not for me. Dating rule winners there. Because even before I knew how to do it properly, I still did it. And I liked it. And I ended up liking it more once I learned how to do it right.
And we all know women have just been very, very pro-sucking dick for a long time.
But when a woman decided to act the same towards sucking dick, it became a controversy. How?
Because, well, no, I can see why it would, because I can see why a lot of people like it. And if you say you don't want to do it, you're gonna make people, well, I like it. It's just, but you see, from my position, God.
Well, let's just be honest. What really happened was, this was just prime troll bait.
Mm-hmm.
That was the first thing that happened. You baited in just trolls with something that was just going to spread like a virus anyway. And B, there is a huge conversation going on right now about the roles of the sexes and the attitudes of the sexes, and we've got both sides saying, well, this happens and we don't like this, and the other side going, we don't like it when you do it to us either, but you don't seem to have a problem with it when the roles are reversed and all of that stuff. And
you see, the one thing that just keeps popping in my mind is the situation I'm in currently. Because there's this one girl I'm talking to who loves sucking cock, but she doesn't want to be eaten out at all. And I'm going to have to try to worm my way into it somehow, probably.
Have fun.
Ah, well. But you see, it's the inverse of what she's stating here.
Yes, exactly.
If I had to become the spokeswoman for cunnilingus to start to change that, so be it. You're not dating the right guys.
Wow. Do you hear how sort of delusions of grandeur this article has turned into all of a sudden? Rather than being, I'm some journalist who overshared on the fucking internet and then got what happened when people overshare on the internet, because I'd seen it happen dozens of times. And then, booyah, I cried, pissed and moaned a bit and got myself sort of like famous for a day, and now I'm coming back to try and get that fame again. But this time, I've now elected myself fucking Pope of fucking oral.
Chaz, you can't act all high and mighty either. You're on Swine Brothers.
I have no illusions about my station there, Massa.
This is the Delusions of Grandeur show. I truly think I'm the greatest talk show host that ever lived.
With our mighty 6 current viewers, maybe, if we're lucky.
Yeah, but you know what? We're so good we scare the others away.
Yay. Of course, I've also realized that shunning blowjobs is probably a little extreme, which is why I broke my own rule.
So people basically told her, and she listened, and then she realized.
I mean, if I'm dating someone and they really want to do it, I'll be like, whatever. But I'm gonna be sitting there thinking.
It kind of sounds like she's tried to say, I was right in everything that I said, and I wasn't saying exactly what people were saying. And now she's saying I was saying exactly what people are saying, and I kind of agree with what they were saying in response to what I was actually saying. No, this bitch is crazy.
And she can't just say I changed my mind a bit.
Well, of course she can't say she changed her mind a bit, because if she changed her mind a bit, that would mean that she, admitted defeat.
Well, you're not allowed to be an open-minded SJW.
No one's allowed to be an open-minded anything anymore, because everyone should just die.
You see, in order to receive, you must give.
I don't give, and I will receive, and I will receive hatred.
Okay. I gave a blowjob for the first time in over a year after a guy I had seriously strong feelings for ate me out in such a top-notch way I almost considered buying him a medal.
I wouldn't actually mind that, would you? If a woman came up to you and gave you a medal for sexually satisfying her, I would wear that shit everywhere.
And the engraving is just a tongue on a clit.
I think I'd say, look, can just spend the money on a couple rare metal CDs that I don't have, and that will mean more to me.
We weren't in a relationship, but it was going in that direction, and he was giving me the attention and respect I know I require of my romantic partners. Giving him head felt different than other times I reluctantly done so for other guys in the past.
Because he didn't beat me.
I enjoyed pleasing him because of how much I knew he enjoyed pleasing me.
And he force-fed me crack cocaine. This is how bored I'm just going to insert these stupid...
Blowjobs are a privilege, not a right. Well, duh.
So check your privilege.
I don't get it. Yeah. Check your blowjob privilege.
Well, I don't think they are a right.
When men can start to appreciate what it takes to get a woman off, I'll suck dick without complaint. But until then, I'm going to keep complaining.
Call me.
Yeah, you want to date some better men.
Call me. We'll get along fine, because I don't.
It sounds like she seems to be dating a lot of beta fucking cuck males, and that might be a problem.
Well, nothing wrong with the beta.
She needs to get herself a good sort of Dothraki style fuck. I think that's what that is.
I think you're going to the extreme. Just need someone who, okay, you don't want to, I mean, I think you're going too far the other extreme. Because, really, it's she's going to do what she wants to do, and she needs to find other people who are fine with that. And, if they're not fine with it, then...
Yeah, whatever. I stopped giving a shit as I was reading it.
Why did you pick this thing anyway?
Because Chaz sent it.
Oh, thanks, Chaz.
Yeah, a few weeks ago as well.
Yeah, well, it was so boring we just didn't do it till now, and I kind of wish we would have left it for a couple more weeks, because I'm about to get into a goddamn coma.
Yeah. Anyways, Florida woman attacks man after he declines having sex.
Now this is funny. Yes, anyone from Florida, it's usually something I sent.
God, Florida's such a rape culture.
No, shut up, Chaz. Florida
it's the Adventures of Florida Man.
Florida is I think they're 49th in the mental health funding on the United States. Only one country only one state's worse. And it's probably somewhere like Alaska where you have to be batshit just to live there, or Hawaii where everyone's homeless and can't afford mental health.
Yeah, but they have nice weather and good weed, so they don't really give a fuck.
Yeah, but the fucking crime rates are outrageous. I mean that's the thing. Like my parents went to Hawaii, and I'm like, well, I want to go to the hood. I want to go to the ghetto. I don't want to go to like the tourist place. I want to see what the ghettos are like.
Anyways, a Florida woman was arrested Thursday after deputies said she began to repeatedly attack a man who allegedly turned down her sexual advances.
Maybe it was Allison. I was gonna say maybe it was Allison. Whatever.
Yeah. Lisa Marie Smith, 27, was lying in bed with the victim, her fiancé, at a house Thursday and allegedly asked whether or not he wanted to have sex. When the victim said he had to go to work later in the morning and was not in the mood, she allegedly kicked him out of bed. Deputies said the victim decided to sleep on the floor, but Smith kept asking whether or not he wanted to have sexual intercourse, and he continued to decline. So she hit him in the head and face with a lamp.
Maybe that's how she gets off. I don't know.
A small laceration on the right side of the victim's face was observed by deputies. Smith told deputies that she was sleeping and had no clue what happened to the man. She was arrested on charges of simple battery.
Sleep fucking.
You want to fuck? No. You want to fuck? No. You want to fuck? No.
I do find those people funny when they're almost like children, where it's like, you know, how did he get the cut on his face? I don't know.
I was sleeping at the time. I wasn't demanding sex. I don't know how he got the cut on his face.
No, Jim.
Really? I cut his face. No.
You heard like people, fucking people in their sleep. This is someone who only fucks in her sleep.
Apparently.
And by the way, I've never denied. Well, actually, I have denied hurting people because I didn't want to go to jail. I do not recall how he got beaten to within an inch of his life.
Anyways, from one end to the other, crazy landlady attacks man and then accuses him of rape.
Yay.
This is another one of that startling trend.
Her name is Catherine Tretola, and she's a landlady at Brookside Manor, a lodging complex in Quincy.
Yay.
The landlady alleged that the man in the video had been urinating out the window, and she came into his room to confront him.
Isn't that something you've done?
Yes, I used to do that on my attic window because the shitter was broken.
Classy.
An argument erupted soon after. The video begins in the middle of the argument and shows Catherine already in the man's room arguing with him. She begins hitting her tenant full force, but as soon as she realizes that she's being filmed, she flips out and does a really pathetic act pretending she was raped. Her boyfriend seems to be set on supporting her painfully fake story, showing a smug smirk while holding his cell phone. She begins screaming, "Let me out of your room, you raped me," despite the fact the door was wide open and she is holding the keys.
I want to think of your script just a little bit before you...
Then she insists someone is calling the cops, but denies having a phone, despite the fact there was a cell phone right there in her boyfriend's hand.
Like I said, always have a backstory if you're going to do something like this.
Well, I mean, it's funny just how these women do this. They try and play the fucking victim the second that they're getting caught out. It's like, you know, like she was sitting there being the aggressor, and the second she realizes there's a camera on her, she suddenly starts rolling around on the floor like Cristiano Ronaldo, like, "Oh, help, 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 help me."
Cristiano Ronaldo is a sports star, for those of you who don't know. I don't know what sport he plays or anything like that, but he's some sort of sports
No, Cristiano Ronaldo is a little fucking git face who once kicked around a spherical object.
He's a sports star. Stop. Just, yeah, whatever. I don't care. What the hell is that noise?
I do not know.
Some sort of dinosaur about to puke. Whatever. He's some sort of sport athlete.
Oh, God. Okay.
What?
It was one of those sites again.
Oh.
That decided to spam the shit out of me even with ad blocker on.
No.
Anyways, sex before marriage is good as long as it's mutually pleasurable, says a female pastor.
Okay.
A pastor has authored a book in which it says it's okay for singles to indulge in sex before marriage, Christian or not.
Okay.
Well, it's fine for the people who are not.
Having sex outside marriage, even though accepted by society, is frowned upon by Christians.
Uh-huh.
An author, Broomley McLegan, I don't even give a shit, has attempted to explain why it might be actually okay to actually indulge in guilt-free sex, even as a single Christian who doesn't conform to the world.
But you're a Christian, so you do actually conform to the world.
Shh. That's not their narrative.
I don't care what their fucking narrative is.
According to her, it's okay to have sex as long as it's mutually pleasurable and affirming. She also said that it's not by force to it's not by force to stay off sex, especially if you became single by circumstance.
As in, no one could stand you and they left you.
Yeah. The married mother of 3, who is also an associate pastor at the Union Church in Hinsdale in Chicago, said it's also great to be faithful to your sexual partner, even if you're both unmarried.
Yeah, unless you have like an open relationship and whatever.
If we refrain from having sex that isn't mutually pleasurable and affirming, that doesn't respect the sacred worth of ourselves and our partners.
Hey, I'm worth about nothing, so there you go.
I am worth less than nothing. I have to pay you.
Yeah, so I'm actually worth slightly more than you.
Chastity, or just sex, requires that whether we are married or unmarried, our sex lives restrain our egos, restrain our desire for physical pleasure when we are pursuing it, when pursuing it would bring about harm to self or other.
Okay.
In other words, I have no idea what the hell she's on trying to make that statement.
I don't know. Nor, frankly, do I care.
Yes.
Kind of a...
And it's kind of like, yeah, okay, we accept this, fine, you find a Christian reason to do it. It's got to be mutually pleasurable, but isn't that the goal anyway?
No, sometimes the goal for people is just for themselves. I mean,
I'm surprised.
you've never met the teenagers I've met.
And I'm curious if she still thinks masturbation is evil.
I don't know. I know people do, though. People who think
Anyways,
masturbation is...
okay, off to something boring, on to something that might be fun. Italy's Supreme Court rules public masturbation is not a crime.
Yes, thank you. I think I sent this in.
Mm-hmm.
Those crazy pasta-loving...
Mm-hmm. From CNN, Italy's highest court has ruled that masturbation in public is not a crime, as long as it's not conducted in the presence of minors.
Feel free to whack off.
As long as it's not in front of kids.
Yes.
The decision came down from the Italian Supreme Court in the case of a 69-year-old man identified only as PL who was caught masturbating in a cantina on Sicily's east coast.
Was it with a McChicken sandwich?
No, it was with a breadstick and some Alfredo.
The man was convicted in May 2015 after he performed the act in front of students on the University of Catania campus, according to documents filed with Supreme Court.
He was just going, this is how my dick works. See, look, I squeeze this.
Yes, you're talking about university students. They should know what a cock looks like.
They are cocks.
The man was sentenced to 3 months in prison and ordered to pay a fine of 3,200 euros.
Okay.
However, the defendant's lawyer appealed the case to the country's highest court, which ruled on the side of the accused in June, but only just now made its decision public. The judges ruled that public masturbation out of the presence of minors is no longer deemed a criminal act due to a change in the law last year, which decriminalized the act.
Crazy Italians.
The new iteration of the criminal code does call for imprisonment of up to 4.5 years if the act is witnessed by a minor. You can't really
so
do
if
it
you're
at
going
a
to publicly
playground.
masturbate, ask everyone how old they are.
In light of this ruling, the court overturned PL's sentence. The case has been sent back to local courts to determine exactly what the administrative fine between 5,000 and 30,000 euros will be. Public masturbation remains a criminal offense in many other parts of the world, where it can lead to a jail sentence.
But not in Italy.
Yeah, if you want to yank it, go to Italy.
Or just...
Well, let's just be honest. It's only going to be mentally disturbed people who are masturbating in public, and they kind of need to be locked up.
Yeah, but most Italians are mentally disturbed.
You need to reread your history, mate.
Because they're fucking Italians. You have to be mentally disturbed to be an Italian.
Well, I mean, these people did elect Silvio Berlusconi several times.
And Mussolini. And fucking everything else. Plus they're just fucking pasta-loving pieces of shit. And, hey, hi Italians. Are any of you fans of the show? No, I like Italy. They're cool. They make some good sports cars.
Anyways, moving on.
Sports cars. They make good, yeah, anyway. And some good alcohol, too.
Judge sets aside rape charges for probation so ex-athlete can enjoy a college experience.
All right, yeah, okay. Well, I sent this to you, like, last year.
I don't know, I just found it now.
Yeah.
A former Massachusetts high school athlete will avoid serving jail time and registering as a sex offender after he was charged with sexually assaulting 2 unconscious women at a house party. Well, that sounds like bullshit.
Yeah.
David Becker, 18, had been charged with 2 counts of rape and 1 count of indecent assault and battery in connection with the April 2nd incident after a party in Palmer. Palmer District Court Judge Thomas Estes on August 15th ordered Becker's case continued without a finding for 2 years, and he was sentenced Monday to 2 years of probation. During that time, the former East Longmeadow High School student was ordered to avoid drugs and alcohol, submit to an evaluation for sex offender treatment, and stay away from the 2 18-year-old victims. Becker, a 3-sport athlete at the school, will be permitted to serve probation in Ohio, where he plans to attend college, and will not be required to register as a sex offender.
So you've just, like, fucked up 2 lives and, you know.
But it's okay to ditch state, go to another school. You don't have to register, and you could still be on probation there. He can now look forward to a productive life without being burdened with the stigma of having to register as a sex offender.
Unlike Brock Turner, who's probably going to die soon.
Mm-hmm.
He was released, and I guess they surrounded his home and shit.
Yeah. The goal of this sentence was not to impede this individual from graduating high school and on to the next step of his life, which is a college experience. Fuckers. Yes, you're getting slapped on the wrist after actually being convicted of rape.
Yeah.
A classmate told a school resource officer about a rumor circulating that a high school senior had assaulted 2 senior girls while they were intoxicated. And unconscious, apparently. The victims told the resource officer that they had been drinking while a classmate's father was out of town, but stayed to help Becker and the classmate clean up. Police said the women went upstairs to an upstairs bedroom where they talked to Becker until they all 3 fell asleep. The victims said they awoke to find Becker sexually assaulting them, and he apologized to one of the women by text message the following day.
Well, yeah, that's yeah.
Sorry I fucked you while you were passed out. Becker denied sexual contact with the other victim, but said he believed his actions with the first woman would have been acceptable because she didn't stop him, because she passed out.
Oh God, there we go. Yeah, a lot of other people didn't. Yeah, fuck.
Mm-hmm. That woman said she had heard Becker had similarly assaulted other girls in the past, earning the nickname David the Rapist.
It's not a very clever nickname, is it? I mean, not Peter the, you know, you know, David the Rapist. It's just you can do better than that, people.
Becker's attorney strongly denied both those claims and accused the alleged victim of unjust character assassination.
Yeah, rape is an unjust character assassination. There we go.
Police found no evidence of previous sexual assaults, and one of the victims told the court that she did not believe jail time was necessary, and the judge closely followed the sentence recommended by Becker's attorney.
Yeah, but how? I wonder. Well, I wonder how much she will. I mean, okay, it's a little grayer than being someone up and having raping them or whatever. It's still rape, but it's a little bit grayer than
What I find interesting is that the one person making the accusation said that she didn't believe jail time was necessary.
that isn't. Yeah, that is. But it kind of deserves discussion because how many people have we heard of who made a mistake of sleeping with someone who was 17 when they were 19 or whatever and wound up on a sexual assault offenders list for the rest of their life.
Yeah.
I know that's different, but I'm just saying, does he deserve? I think he deserves some sort of punishment.
We all make mistakes when we were 17, 18, 19 years old, and we shouldn't be branded for life with a felony offense and branded a sex offender, Rook said.
I don't think for life, but I think for at least 10 years.
Putting this kid in jail for 2 years would have destroyed this kid's life.
That I don't care.
The sentence comes in the wake of two other controversial sentences for students convicted of sexual assault. Brock Turner, a 20-year-old former swim star at Stanford University, was found guilty of sexually assaulting an unconscious woman outside a party in January 2015, which we went over that.
Mm-hmm.
And there's too much that seems fishy on all sides of it. And Austin Wilkerson, a 22-year-old former student at the University of Colorado, admitted to sexually assaulting an intoxicated woman who had rejected his advances.
Yeah, students, you need to stop at the rape.
He was sentenced to 2 years jail, but will be permitted to leave during the day to work or attend school, and he was ordered to spend 20 years to life on probation.
I mean, I don't know if he should be for life, but maybe for about 10 years, maybe a sexual offender, or in jail for a couple of years. I mean, I think, and plus he's an athlete, and I always hated jocks. So.
Well, everyone was an athlete.
No, I wasn't a fucking athlete.
No, in this story.
Yeah, I know. I'm just saying. No, I'm not the original guy. I don't know.
Fuck.
Yeah, that's what he wanted, Jim. Ha 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 ha. See what I did there? That was funny.
The Texas butthole tickling bandit has finally been captured by police. And this is satire.
Yeah, I would say. Thank you. Can't make a serious fucking story out of it.
No, I couldn't. I think that's about it then.
Okay. Fuck. Alright, I just get that. It was a very sex-heavy episode.
Yeah. We had someone
Uh,
suggest we do one purely on sex, and that was this.
I never suggested that. Shit.
I know you didn't. This was someone that actually watches the show suggested it. So there you
Who
go.
who watches this show? You have no life. But thank you for watching and tuning in. I'm sorry we weren't more active, sexually active.
Yeah.
And congratulations to Fenris for being elected local politician
Mm-hmm.
from Darkthrone. Congratulations. I don't have any music albums to talk about because I don't know if any that were released today. So, yeah, this has been the Swine Brothers Show, episode 110 for the 9th of September 2016. You can email us for questions, comments, death threats, or sexual suggestions at ellindamood@gmail.com. You could like us on Facebook at Swine Brothers and Twitter SwineBros666. For Chaz, who sent us a very boring thing about something. For Jim.
Well, it was only supposed to be like a little sort of backup thing. It wasn't supposed to be sort of dragged out as a main feature.
They got dragged out as a main feature. That works perfectly. For my, I guess, assistant producer, Jim, I'm Ellindamood, and thanks to the person who suggested we do this episode. Keep suggestions coming, like and comment and all that shit.
And a chick just said, God, I hate cunnilingus.
Okay. Thank you.